Hey guys, so this is going to be a pre-recorded episode from when we streamed back on Sunday. I'm backwards in the camera, it freaks me out. From when we recorded on Sunday with the Weekend Guardians. We went for 2 hours, so I'm only going to play the first hour here today, and the full 2 hours will be live on podcast services as per normal, but I didn't want to have another 2 hour podcast go until 10 o'clock tonight. So I'll play the first hour, it's going to cut off at a really funny point, bit of a tease for the rest of the episode. Hope you enjoy. I'll be live after the episode tonight is finished, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Anyway, enjoy, guys. We are in. Welcome, viewers, to this special collaboration. I am Agnikai. On my left is Sevs.
Hey.
Down the bottom there. Baby Bear. Monster Hero. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
So this is a not an individual episode for either of our podcasts, us being Relaxed Guardians, the guys from America being the Weekend Guardians. This is an individual special episode we're going to put out there, but we've wanted to do this for a while because we listen to them. They're quite funny and they're quite informative, and they listen to us and we're idiots. So
Yeah, I can see that. I
Yeah,
can see that. Because just as a thing, because when we record our stuff, we're like, all right, cool, tribes up, that's it, let's go.
yeah.
But when I was over listening to you guys, you're like, all right, let's write this down. All right, and it's all right, cool. We're gonna say this. You say this, and you say this, and I was just seemed like a cluster.
You're so organized compared to us. But introduce yourselves, say hey, say what you love about the game, take it away.
Go ahead, Josh.
I am Monster Hero, AMC to the moon. If you haven't known by my name, I have.
Sorry
to interrupt you. Is that
Yeah.
a crypto coin?
No, that is actually the AMC stock that's being shorted right now by hedge funds. So
American Movie Channel, I think, is what it is.
Yeah, because I was like,
no.
it's the crypto.
No?
Why is
Oh,
he
AMC,
shilling
like
crypto?
the car?
No, AMC like the movie theaters.
Yeah, I just said American Movie something or another.
Because I was like, why
Yeah.
is he shilling crypto? I don't understand. Every week.
Oh
he's shilling crypto.
no! Oh no!
He
no,
was.
no.
He was early. He was in the beginning.
I went through the rabbit hole that is Reddit, and
Right.
now I have money in the stock market, hoping for the MOAS to happen, and I'm still in it. I'm not gonna leave until I
You
get
get
my chicken tendies.
All right. Sorry for interrupting. Go. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, tidbit about my name, and I've been in love with Destiny ever since I played my first person shooter Halo. So I've had a deep rooted love for Bungie, and pretty much that's what started it. And that's pretty much why I like Bungie, is because it just reminds me of Halo. The first first true love for video games was Halo. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. So my name is Nate. I go by Baby Bear 2004. And before I get going, I just want to bring up the fact that Sevs and Agnikai need to introduce themselves as for our listeners as well.
Yes, sorry, yes.
So definitely we want to do that. But I'm Baby Bear 2004. When the original Xbox came out, I was playing Halo with my buddies at their house. We'd always did LAN games, stuff like that. Halo was a great game. And when Destiny came out, I was at a GameStop one day and somebody was like, "Hey, you should check this out. It's from the creators of Halo." And I was like, "Huh, all right, I'll check it out." And yeah, the rest is history. I just kept playing and like everybody, you take breaks, you stop playing for a little while, and then you come back and you keep playing again, and then you take another break and then you play again.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
All right, well, for the Weekend Guardian listeners, I'm Agnikai God. I host over at Relaxed Guardians. I do a little bit of talking. Seth does all the damn talking. You can't stop him. My rise to video games was actually really, really young. I started on the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 playing games like Super Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing and stuff like that. And then my first shooter was actually 007 GoldenEye. And if anyone remembers that game, it's not as good as you remember. Don't go back and play it. It's awful.
It's trash.
It's terrible. But I totally miss Halo 1 and Halo 2 came into my life with my cousin because he had an Xbox and I didn't. So we played through the campaign co-op together, and that's how I found Halo and Bungie. And then when Destiny was coming out, I wasn't interested, but my fiance was and her dad was. And so they were going to pre-order it and play it, and I thought, I mean, it's all online together. Why don't I play it with them? And now here I am doing everything, and they don't play it anymore. That's me.
I'm Sevs. Enjoy. I'm Sevs. Obviously, second part of the Relaxed Guardians. I was just going to call myself a weekend guardian, then for some reason. Sorry for the swearing.
You just want to be a weekend guardian. It's okay.
Yeah, it's just not a part of me. Look,
Yeah.
I played on the Atari, whatever the hell it was, the first ever like Pong. Ding ding. Ding. I'm that old that I go. Ding, ding.
Damn.
Yeah. I played Destiny 1. I hated it. I think, back to what I usually say, I think Destiny's a very social game. So if you haven't got any people to play with and stuff like that, it kind of gets very boring. Give that up. Went to Divinity. Not Divinity. What was the other one?
Division.
Went to Division. Met a few guys. And then came back to Destiny then. In Destiny 2. And then I've been playing that ever since. I'm the looks of our team. Agrikai is
everything else.
He's the editor, so I'm the looks, I'm the brains. But
There you go.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I can't say.
Well, I mean,
anything more.
if I knew we were going back to like history, then I would have talked about playing NES as well. Like,
Yeah.
I think
NES?
any gamer worth their salt to play
Wow.
NES.
Sega
Was it-
Genesis for me.
Wow.
I think my mother bought me the Commodore 64, which the loading screen took about 40 minutes to load up, and you had to press like alt CTRL and delete at the same time, like to load it up.
Yeah.
And the big floppy disks.
My son's grandpa has like 3 or 4 still in the package. He has like, yeah, he's a big collector of video games. He has Commodores, he has whatever you name it. He's got like some NESs packed away. He always says, one day he's gonna sell the stuff and make some money off of it, but he never will. But yeah, it's he's a really big collector. He's got a
Stick
lot
in
of
there,
old
mate. You
school
stick
stuff.
in there. You get all his stuff, and then you just sell it. And then you don't have to do AMC Moon. You don't have to go shilling in Bitcoin and all that sort of stuff anymore.
It
Oh, I
sells.
know,
There's a
right?
few. There's like a Heritage Auctions that sold a recent Mario Kart, not Mario Kart, just normal Mario 3 for like $1 million, and it wasn't even like the highest grade that they've ever had. Like they got up to like a out of 10 scale, and this was like an 8.
Wow.
And it was ridiculous money in it. So if you hold on to it, it's gonna pay for your next 3 kids' retirement.
I tell you what's not gonna hold the money is those pop head things behind Agnikai's head.
Oh, dude, they're already worth millions. If you can't see some of them, but they're like signed and stuff by the actors, and like not my name. It's like it's just their signature, so I can sell it on eBay, and then I can just pay off my house.
Like
Oh,
$20,
there you go.
like. Talking about paying the house, we've got a guy in our Discord, and he lives up in Cairns, and he's a big Pokemon card collector, and he graded his cards and went and just bought a house, like 600 grand worth of Pokemon cards he sold them
Jesus.
Yeah,
Wow.
for. God
it's
damn it.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So in United States, that's what, like $20?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like 300. It's half, isn't it? It's like $300.
I think it is
300
half. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Like
But
300 grand.
you guys are in the upside down world, so I just had to make fun of you.
Yeah, we poop up,
Yeah, we have to turn upside down to poo.
Anyway,
So,
So Destiny.
so what made you guys get into a podcast? What like drove you to get in the podcasts?
This is more for Nate. I kind of just joined.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to do a podcast. I've had a lot of people in the past tell me I have a voice for radio, so I was like, well, why not?
That's
I
not a good
I have a
thing.
face for radio too, so
That's the second part of that comment is I have a voice for radio, and you have a face for radio.
yeah. But yeah, I just kind of got for lack of a better term, a bug up my butt one day, and I called up Josh after I found out he played Destiny, and I was like, So, you want to do a podcast?
And I was like, sure, why not? And the only reason why this popped up is that we have a work app on our laptops called WebEx, and you can post, GIFs on there or whatever. And I posted, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna see who gets this. So I posted a Guardian, I think, was it dancing? A Guardian dancing GIF?
I don't know.
And then all of a sudden he private messages me. He's like, hello, fellow Guardian. And I was like, oh, I knew I was gonna see. I was just trying
It's
to test the water to
combined.
see.
It's combined.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
So it's definitely a thing for us that we have a very stressful job, so getting to talk about something other than work is kind of nice.
Yeah.
What about you guys? How did you guys get into podcasting?
It was me. So
Look, let me just point this out. He's going to say a completely different story to what I'm going to say, and I will just turn around and say that.
he's mad because he found out well into us doing a podcast that I had done a podcast before this one. So I'm going to preface it. So
Oh man.
it started from me because I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm working, and a few of them are Destiny podcasts, but a lot of the time they're not like very. The more the Australian ones, they're good, but they're very much like, we play Destiny, but let's talk about other stuff. And I'm like, I don't get enjoyment out of that. I want a podcast that I can listen to that's Australian, that is very much, this is what Destiny is, this is what's happening and everything, and no one's talking about it, so I thought, why don't I do it? And I was fresh into the clan with Sevs, and he was usually the one that was talking the most about it with me. He usually had the most knowledge about it, so I messaged him and I messaged another guy, and we started up together. Ultimately, the third guy dropped off, but Sevs and I just kept going. And that's pretty much it, really. And now Sevs can talk about why he doesn't like me.
He pleaded. The conversation went, Sevs, you are the stars, the suns of my eyes. Will you come and do a podcast with me? And that's why I was like, all right, mate. All right, you're getting a bit pathetic now. And then he asked. But like you said, we did have 3 people, but we found the dynamic was a little bit off because we're all kind of, it's all vying for the same attention type of thing, and they've only got a certain amount of period of time. And we started on 4 hours. We started doing like 4-hour recordings and stuff like that, where we just ramble crap.
Yeah. I tried listening to your early episodes, and I couldn't get through it.
Nah,
I
man.
couldn't get through it at all.
It's so long, it's so bad.
Yeah. Sounds were bad. Like
I mean, our first 3 episodes were a little painful, I think.
They were super cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
At least the
teething
first 3,
period.
probably more, but still.
For the first 30 episodes, I was in a garage and you could hear it, and it was bad.
Yeah. And we had times where the third guy just didn't turn up. He's fallen asleep on the couch and stuff like that. So we were like, right. Oh, it's just us 2. And then from then on, we were like, okay, cool. Oh, that's exactly right, Kay. On his knees begging. That's exactly right.
Yeah, the chat.
But what we usually do, guys, as well, is I have Twitch up on the side, and then all our guys can talk and stuff, and then we acknowledge them as we come in. Yeah. Actually, so and it worked out, and so we're in what, episode 30?
We're in 42 now.
Yeah, so 42. So we've almost been doing it a full year now.
Yeah. That's right.
And we're good. We're doing, it's pretty cool.
But we have, because Seb's discovered you guys, and then he sent it to me, and he said that the Weekend Guardians do this thing where you guys are very analytical, and you like go, okay, you're both Titans, but when you say that, you're like, these are the builds that I use. You know, you did I think it was Nate was saying that you put up the barrier wall, and then that you use that to heal yourself. And I was like, I didn't even know that Titans could do that. Like, you guys break it down. You guys break it down so hard. And Sebs and I were trying to do that with the lore, but then the more we kind of got into the podcasting, we just started arguing a ton, and we started just like our ideals sort of clashed really hard, and our audience found that more interesting, so we sort of lent into that more. But why did you guys stick to the analytical side? Is that something that you guys just can conversate easier with? Is it your audience likes that more?
I kind of think that it's more of a strong suit for me, at least. And it's a little bit easier to talk about. I mean, we definitely are going to get into doing more like not so analytical at the, eventually, but at the same time, just thinking about my personal experience in Destiny and all the people I play with, a lot of people are just like, hey, what do you do with this? Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what kind of build do you think I should do? And it just kind of got to a point where I was like, I should just create a podcast and tell people what I tell people all the time when I'm gaming. I experiment with things and I learn, different builds with my Titan, and I'm like, hey, this build is awesome. So I tell my buddies about it, and it's like, well, why don't I just tell people that listen to my podcast about it? That, like, come on.
Yeah, 100%. It's great. Like like I said, I made a hunter, but I do switch over to my Titan. I'm doing it more often now because I'm just basically doing 3 raids every weekend. And so when I put on my Titan, I'm like, I sort of listen back to your podcast and go, okay, I don't know how to use this character, but they do. So listen to what they do, and I'll get more success out of it. And I have, and it's actually been really great to like sort of learn from you guys. Because
I kind of wish that we could get like a warlock and a hunter on our podcast regularly. Just saying, guys.
I don't know anyone.
You don't want a warlock, man.
I don't know a warlock, especially not a hunter, especially a good hunter.
He'll tell you exactly what Seb's warlock advice will be. Put a well down, and then that's it.
And shoot stuff.
Why change stuff when it's so good?
Like, I heard. Go ahead. Sorry.
Go on.
I was just gonna say, I heard in your last episode that you run a resilience build with your warlock.
Yeah. So I have double 100, so I have resilience and recovery at 100. Okay. And then I have a different build where recovery is 100 and intellect is 100. And so they're different builds. I also have another one where the discipline's 100 for stasis. And so it doesn't really make much of a difference. Like, I've got one that's resilience 100, I think he's 104 without any mods. So it's easier to turn around and go, I want to go put it into intellect, and I'll just chuck it into intellect if I want to. Just depending on what the build is that season. Like this, we had a discussion about pigeonholing. Like, do you think classes should be pigeonholed a little bit more? As in, hunter needs to be. Well, we revert back to World of Warcraft continuously all the time because that's the basis of what I've got in my mind of a MMO. And so we have a hunter where would be classed as a thief. They do damage like high points of damage. Like a Titan would be classed as aggro or a warrior, and they don't do any. They shouldn't be doing great damage, but they're aggro and they got a lot of defense. And then a warlock is a healer as such.
I mean, I 100% agree with you on that. I really think that Bungie should pigeonhole us a little bit more. I actually have a problem with the fact that they don't, because I like whenever I play any kind of play D&D. I know, big nerd.
Oh man, I play D&D.
Okay, so that works. But whenever I play D&D, whenever I play any kind of RPG, I always pick the tank. I always pick a warrior with high health and low-ish damage. Sometimes you can pick the warrior with like a two-handed sword or whatever that does more damage but still has survivability. But I'm always the tanky character. I'm the guy that, like, when I'm playing, I literally run into the middle of everything and get all of the aggro, even in Destiny, and get myself killed so that the rest of my team can take care of business. I wish Bungie would pigeonhole us more, to be honest. I really think that if warlocks were the epitome of glass cannon healers, that would be amazing. And if hunters were more the epitome of that thief that gets the backstab damage that kills somebody in one shot, dude. I think the problem is they have the PvP aspect that holds them from doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I suppose it's. Yeah, I suppose because you couldn't get a Titan going in and just being able to take a shit ton of damage and barely giving shit out. It's
right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I guess that could come down to like what game modes you're playing, and then that could build into how you play them. Like Control, if you'd want a Titan that you can't kill as easy, so they get more zones, but they can't sprint across the map to get zones quickly.
Right
off there.
Well, being as they got this separate. It seems like they got this separate sandbox between the two modes now that they may be able to modify certain things, but
Yeah,
they're
'cause
well
if you
into it now.
notice, yeah, if you notice, like in the last more recent TWABs, ever since Beyond Light, when they announced that new engine that they were working with, now they're able to separate both. Like, oh, we're gonna up the damage on X gun in PvE, but we're gonna make sure it does this in PvP, type of thing. So, which is kind of nice, actually, if you really think
Yeah.
about it.
Maybe they should do it to Telesto and just reduce it in PvP completely and just have it as a PvE weapon.
Just delete the gun. Stop breaking the game.
It's
Delete the
trash.
gun.
Hey,
But that's
I think the fact that they have split the sandbox is
Yeah.
amazing. Because I know D1, all of D1, they were talking about how they couldn't nerf a gun
Mhm.
in PvP and have it not be nerfed in PvE, and now they
Yeah.
can do that. So I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
the Telesto is the throwback of that spike gun from Halo, isn't it?
The brute spiker or the
Sounds about
the,
right,
The,
yeah.
the needler.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
one,
the
the
Needler.
Needler. So
Yeah.
that's what it's the throwback to Halo days, isn't it? So they
Yeah.
can't get rid of the bloody thing,
feel
even
like
though
it
it's
is.
shocking in every type of game. I've never used it. I hate the bloody thing.
Yeah,
the
I don't.
needler tracks. The needler would track too.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
enemies.
Yeah.
So
Dual weld. Just you win as soon as you got dual weld needlers. It
it
was good. It was a good time. Good time.
Well, my favorite gun combo in Halo was always doing the what is it? The one that you could charge up that like obliterates their shields.
Oh,
It's a
and
little
then
tiny one.
battle
the
rifle.
pistol.
Yeah, the pistol you can charge up and basically run around with it charged up, and then
Yeah.
you shoot somebody with it, and you automatically swap to the battle rifle and headshot, and they're dead.
So what's
Yeah.
that? That's
I love
the
that.
that's the Devil's Ruin, isn't it? It's the same. It's the same context as the Devil's Ruin. Is it Devil's Ruin?
It might be. I've never used the Devil's Ruin.
Oh, why?
So the Devil's Ruin is a one that you can
That's
charge up, and it's great on super. So it'll shoot it like a beam, like the 1K.
Okay.
Devil's Ruin. It could be. I think it's Devil's Ruin. I'm not too sure.
So it says Devil's Ruin is a sidearm with an interesting feature, a laser that shoots out
Yep.
if you hold down the fire button.
Yeah.
This will consume all of your ammo and will automatically reload once dispersed. Even if you don't have full ammo, your stocks will refill as you fire the laser.
Yeah. So
You
it was.
always shoot at full power.
That's
yeah.
cool.
It was. It was the joint. It was the one that they brought in on. I think on one of the season passes, and you could one hit people out of supers. It would just absolutely wreck people in supers. So you just needle like laser them and then change it, and it's a really fast gun as well.
Yeah.
And so you could just reload.
So it sounds like they did the exact same thing they had set up in Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the throwbacks between this game and Halo is you look at them, you go. I still don't know about the cock. I want to say cock piece, the cod piece even.
The groin guard.
Yeah, the groin guard.
Groin
Yeah,
guard.
the cod piece. Yeah, the Master Chief's cod
This
piece.
is a good word. Cod piece is a fair word. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that word.
the cod
Shut up,
piece
that guy.
is supposed to be the Destiny logo, and I'm like, I keep looking at Master Chief's groin. I keep looking at Master Chief's groin. I'm like, does he have a penis? No. And then I go, that doesn't look like the Destiny logo.
That's some low hanging
Oh,
fruit.
God.
Yeah. So speaking of PvP, you guys obviously read the Joe Blackburn tweets as well. What do you guys think with what he said when he said that now we are working towards a more PvP centric future? You know, like we had this idea that this is already happening in the past, but it's like now starting. Sort of, what are your thoughts on that?
Is that the one with all the tweets where he was like ranting
Yeah.
on or whatever? I read a few of them. It seems like they did a lot of the PvE now.
Mhm.
So like it's like, all right, let's get all this stuff off of us
Mhm.
and just be focused all on PvE. And then now that they've gotten that, like, all right, we got this out of our system. Now let's do PvP because if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of videos out there of a lot of streamers are like, oh, Destiny in its current state, Destiny, what's wrong with Destiny right now, or I'm leaving Destiny, or Destiny's no more fun. And I feel like a lot of people are just tired of PvE now, and they just want to focus on PvP and I guess maybe bring people back.
It shouldn't go like we discussed this the other day. It shouldn't go like, all right, PvE, all right, then PvP. It's just kind of
Right.
come up and
I agree.
like up and down by itself. And well, it's basically what they did. They removed all their PvP guys off Destiny and then sent them over to the new IP because that's all PvP. And now they may have hit a milestone with that different IP, and then they've brought them all back then, or they're getting new ones. So look, but is it too late? I don't know.
So I don't think it's too late, simply because of, I mean, exactly what I said earlier. Destiny players we're consistently inconsistent. You know, everybody takes breaks. Everybody, you know, I haven't played this entire season. Basically, I played like the first 2 weeks and I haven't played.
It's a great season. You missed a fantastic season.
Then that's what I'm hearing. It's terrible.
Story-wise, it's great.
I mean, I've been paying attention.
You picked the wrong season. You picked the wrong season to take a break, man.
Tell that to Summer, man.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it's the problem that I'm having as a weekend guardian is the summer comes around and it's not raining. Josh and I live in Oregon, and it rains all the time in Oregon during the winter, and it's really cold, gets really cold. So it's one of those things that when summer hits and it's not raining, at least in Southern Oregon, I have projects to do. I have stuff to do around the house. I have to do yard work. Where I live in Southern Oregon is it's always at a fire danger level. So like I said before we started recording, I have 2.5 acres.
Yeah.
And the acre in the front of my house is we don't really water it because we don't have the ability to do so. So it gets brown really quickly. So I constantly have to go out there and keep that mowed down so that if a fire does come, it doesn't like spread to my house right away.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's just summer hits and I'm busy all the time. It sucks. And then also, you know, trying to do podcasts and do a bunch of other stuff.
Sure.
And weekends are really the only time that I have to play, and then my weekends are full of doing projects. So it kind of sucks. I think it's so far every summer I've missed the entire season every summer.
Wow.
So with next week being the big release for we've got the showcase coming, and then we have the final season, which I don't want to say the name yet in case it's still technically spoiler territory.
It is, yeah. They're not happy about it being over Facebook today.
Really? Okay, yeah. Well, you know, next season's coming next week, and then we have the showcase for Witch Queen coming as well. Is that going to be something that sort of motivates you to get back into it more, or are you still feeling, I'll wait until I'll enjoy my summer, and then maybe when New Year comes through, I'll play back more?
I typically do end up getting back in the last season, essentially. So more than likely it'll be probably October before I get back in. Then I'll bust out, 100 levels and all the story and all that stuff. But that's kind of just the way my Destiny career goes.
Can you still play the story if you miss the season?
Yep.
Yeah.
The story's still
so you're not going to lose anything then.
Yeah.
And I've watched all the YouTube videos. Otherwise, how would I talk about it? Right?
That's cheating, man. That's cheating. You can't do that.
That's the best way to do it. Like, it's just, you get to skip the run to Ikora, then run to Saint, then run back to Ikora bits.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome. So so they've released all these spoilers out.
Yeah.
Of the next season. We know what the next season's called, but they released all these spoilers now, and it's not. People are really upset about it.
Avoid it, people. Enjoy it when it comes.
I think what was it? Was it a food company that released
was
it?
Really?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, like they or some company was doing a promotion, and then they put out like a photo on the on their Twitter, and then it's like everyone's like, "Oh, what the f?" It's like, this is what the season is,
right? Okay.
No way.
I don't know if Bungie planned it that way, but
that's savage. Because
that does suck.
There's a lot of people now like data mining and all this sort of stuff just to get information.
Dude, people are always data mining.
It's just trash.
Yeah.
Old school spoilers was they would send out promo material and then the store would put it up a week early than they should have, because that store would then get like traffic into their place and sell shit. But
Yeah.
like that used to be. Now that's just on the internet. Like, oops, we accidentally released our photo too early. It's like, did you? Or is everyone talking about you now?
Yeah, you can't hide anything anymore.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so
Yeah.
So we've had a pretty big ending to this season, not so much content wise, but the 3 twabs that we've had for the past 3 weeks have been like monsters.
Oh, crazy.
That we were
Yeah.
not expecting. Right?
Out of all the 3 trabs, that's all I can say is nerf to warlocks. That's all I've got.
Oh, don't
I
stop.
feel like
You're still stuck on that 2 weeks
Yeah.
later? Come on.
Yeah, man. I'm going to Geomags,
I
bloody.
feel like they need to.
that Geomag nerf was kind of annoying too. I agree.
What's
the point?
But I mean, come on. You were talking specifically, like I think Agdakai was talking about how playing PvP with you, and you are running Stormcaller and shooting the wall that he's hiding behind and killing him behind the wall. How is that not OP, man? How is that not OP?
So we do this thing when we get like as many guys as we get in, and we do a mayhem. So we have instant supers, instant revives, and then it goes for about 40 minutes. And so you got all the hunters trying to shoot me with golden gun, and then it's just this beam of power just coming across the map, just raking everything. So gets back up, rakes everything, and that's what we do. That's within our Discord. That's what we do.
It's like a fire hose.
Yeah,
It was just a fire hose of death. And like we tried to counter him with like, I was like, okay, if I use a normal bottom 3 golden gun, I have to hit him with 2 shots. So now I have to put on a celestial. And then I still have to get the headshot to kill him, otherwise he's just gonna laser me too quickly. And like even then it was like, okay, I gotta time it, so I hide behind pillars and he would just shoot me through the pillar with the damn thing.
I was not really through the pillows to the edge. It's it's the corner. But
Whatever. You can justify it all you
I
want.
mean,
It was
just like
stupid.
just thinking about as a Titan main, how to combat that. I mean, I could hide in my bubble, but all you have to do is come into the bubble.
Yeah. Exactly.
no, you can shoot. Well, now obviously with the nerf that it's all resilient, so you can blow the bubble up. So you can hit the bubble for a certain amount of damage, it's gone. But Ursa is always the one that you hold the
big wall.
The big
wall.
Yeah.
You can't shoot through that. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
But the problem with Ursa's is as like unless you have somebody behind you shooting, you can't like all you're gonna do is block the damage.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
survive hopefully.
With
And then
Geomags, it goes for 20
Continue
minutes anyway.
hopefully surviving until you can kill you. Like
Yeah, it just didn't work. We tried that with
Yeah.
the mayhem. We had 2 of us running times with the wall, and then like one of us would block him, and we would get our super back, but we couldn't kill him enough in time with our main weapons before he got his super back to wipe us anyway.
Yeah. So look, that's the best part about cross. Obviously,
I guess
guys.
Code of the Missile.
Yeah, that's what we ended up doing.
have to
We just
aim.
flank him.
Yeah, but you have to really hit like with movement and stuff like that. That's the
Yeah, it was.
But,
it was what's faster, the laser or the missile? And 9 times out of 10,
The
it was
laser, definitely.
Yeah, laser
But
probably.
But obviously, crossplay is coming out sometime next season, which is going to be great because it's going to get everybody together. Obviously, not PC players because they dirtbags, but it's allowing the
Josh.
dirty X. It's allowing the dirty Xbox players to come play with the master race of PlayStation.
dirty Xbox players.
Yeah, they like the Xbox players like the ginger stepchild. They don't really want to talk to, but you have to invite them to all the parties. But it'll be good. It'll be good because we can get you guys into our like crazy mayhem, and then we can get you through because you're always complaining. Oh, we don't raid. Oh, I don't raid enough, and all this sort of stuff. So we can get you into the raids.
I wouldn't complain. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating a fact.
Because you're like on the podcast the other day. You're like, oh, I wonder if Sebs has got Vex. I was like, yeah, I got Vex. Oh, none of us.
Of course you have Vex.
So that was actually kind of a funny recurring thing is that with Deepstone Crypt, I still don't have Eyes of Tomorrow, and I'm still running that raid. Sebs and another guy as well. Yeah, I know. Sebs and another guy as well, Seiko, both got Eyes of Tomorrow really quick, and so they constantly shoot me with it as like a FU thing. And now finally, the 3 of us have run Vogue heaps together. Sebs got Vex in like the first 2 runs, and I finally got Vex last week. and Seiko still doesn't have it. So now every opportunity I get, I shoot Seiko with Vex Mythoclast, and it's like now he's the ugly stepchild. And so
Well,
I've come up with this theory of the next raid that comes out, Seiko and I will get the exotic, and Sebs will miss out, and then we get to shoot on him for the next like 3 months or whatever it is.
That's not the way that this works.
I'm hoping.
Bungie likes Sebs for some reason. That's all I can say.
It's because he had a depressing life of having to be Welsh. Like they feel bad for him.
We don't pick on the race. We don't pick on the race that I am. That's the reason. Now, next season, Vex is getting a massive, ridiculous buff. It's like 40% extra damage on enemies in PvE, and it's just ridiculous. So we did the catalyst on the weekend to make sure that it's viable for us. Yeah. So it's so guys, you need Vex, guys. You're gonna need Vex.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna be good when we can finally crossplay, and I can have you guys come in, and I'll teach you a raid, and we'll have our laughs. Seb's got angry at me the other day because I said that I teach people raids, and he's like, "Who have you taught?" And I just started listing down all these people, and like there was people in the raid that I was teaching at the time, and he's like, "I don't believe you. You don't teach people."
So we have to go back to mine and Agnikai's history. So when Agnikai was a young bub, he came into a clan that I was in, and then I taught him to walk, to crawl, to run, to shave, manscape. I taught him all this.
He must have forgotten how to shave.
I forgot.
And then he flourished. He flourished into the beautiful flower that he is now.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying is I was a solo player, and I'd been in clans before who told me that I'd be able to do raids with them, and then they never did raids. And so when I finally when Seb's actually, he did find me on Facebook and like looking for groups type of things, and I did end up joining on him. And yeah, he's right. He did teach me how to do. We learned Deep Stone Crypt together, but he taught me. Was it Crown?
It was all the old ones. So Leviathan, Crown, Eaters.
That were going away because before that I'd only ever done like Leviathan and then the Destiny 1 raids. And so when Vault of Glass came out, I was like, okay, look, I know Vault of Glass because that was my thing, was Destiny 1. And Sebs, you don't know Vault of Glass because you didn't like it. And so I finally stepped up to the plate.
I still don't like it, man. It's so boring.
He doesn't like Vault at all. He avoids it as much as he can. And so it's like, it's turned into me taking in all the people.
I love Vogue.
Yeah, it's great. I like it more now.
Yeah.
I think it's boring. I think
Deepstone is my favorite
boring.
one, honestly. Deepstone, I like the whole grabbing the operator or whatever,
Yeah.
I don't know what about that raid that I like.
I think aesthetically it's pleasing.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
Vogue is like, all right, you run through this cave. All right, you drop down here. All right, there we are. You do this.
All right, so
you run through this cave. It's like
let's go back. Let's go back in time a little bit here for those of us that actually like Vogue, because D1 when it first came out, and when Vogue first came out, that was like the prettiest thing that I had seen in gaming to date.
Yeah,
it was beautiful, dude. It was amazing.
Cave.
It was so good though, because we just
it was just so well done.
Yeah.
I had never played a piece of content like that prior to that, but that's why I have that love for Vogue.
Do you think it's do you think it's the same as all the other raids now? Like we have GOS, which is absolutely fantastic, beautiful raids. We've got Leviathan. We had Eaters. We had Crown of Sorrows, we had SOS and all that sort of stuff. Those raids, mechanically wise, are fantastic compared to Vogue. And they're better looking DSC. They're so much better looking than Vogue. And they're better mechanics.
So I don't disagree at all. I think that all of those raids were.
You better not.
Those raids are. No. I mean, I haven't played most of them, but I've played DSC. I've played Garden of Salvation. Both of those were beautiful. Mechanics were complicated, to say the least. But it definitely was a thing that I did enjoy them when I played them. I think that the biggest thing for Vogue and the biggest thing for Crota when that comes back is just the nostalgia. And I know you don't have nostalgia for those because
don't get me started in nostalgia. That's
also remember too. Hold on. Also remember, Vogue was Bungie's first raid ever. So that's their idea pool of like, oh, let's throw this in there, throw this in there. And that's why we have a love for the newer raids like DSC and all that, because they've only just gotten better since VOG.
Yeah, and I do not deny that, but nostalgia, I think, is wrecking this game. I hate nostalgia. I hate the fact that they go, ooh, we bring Hawkmoon back. And then it was like, yay, it's from D1, yay. And then you're like, oh, shit. Oh.
Okay, so since you hate nostalgia, does that mean they should not be making Matrix 4, the new Ghostbusters movie?
All sec. The new Ghostbusters movie is actually classed as Ghostbusters 3. The all-girl cast. Nostalgia. Yeah, but it's not nostalgia. They're not trying to go, oh, we've got Ghostbusters 3 now. What are we going to do? We're going to remake Ghostbusters 1.
True.
There we are. We make Ghostbusters.
So nostalgia is still pulling from the fact that people loved Ghostbusters when it first came out. Ghostbusters 2 was a flop.
But it's not the remake. I understand the nostalgia of the game. You go, ooh, I really love VOG, and then they go, here's VOG, enjoy, and then like, it's fucking really basic. You know, they've tried to obviously bring it up to the same standards, but you can't. If you bring it up too high, then it's no longer VOG. And I would imagine it'll be the same for Crota. They'd be like, "Ooh, the nostalgia, yeah." And then we've put some barrier champions in. I don't.
Well, and I've heard. I think you guys may have talked about it, but at one point, people talked about how Crota shouldn't come out as a raid, but come out as a dungeon.
Yes,
and I agree with.
That was Seek. No, I think that was Seeker. That was who said that.
Yeah, I agree with him too.
Yeah. I think Seeker did say that, but yeah, I agree with that. I think. Like I loved Crota back in the day, but it is definitely not. It's VOG is a lot closer to today's raids than Crota ever would be.
Yeah, I suppose.
And Crota, it was a fun raid. It was great. Like I was part of the crew that when they first were doing it, like you disconnect your LAN cable. One guy disconnects his LAN cable when you get Crota to kneel, so that you can cheese it.
Yep.
I did that.
Cheesing is integral to Destiny. Like we still hit Riven on the toe. You know.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that look, this is D2. This is Destiny 2. I don't want D1 stuff. If I want D1, I can go and download it and go and play D1. That's fine. I can do that. But I don't want D2 because it just seems we are living in the past because they're trying to merge D1 and D2 together.
Yeah.
The reason I'm super glad that they kind of kept VOG as free is because New Light, it sort of feels like it's part of New Light's whole system, and so it's not a difficult raid to learn either. Like Deepstone Crypt is something that's very involved, and if you've never raided before, that's a tough raid to start on. So VOG feels greater that it's free, and that you can start people there, and you go, okay, this is how a raid kind of works. Get used to doing minor roles, and then when we go to do Deepstone, and we're going to give you specific roles, you'll understand better what we expect of you. That's kind of why I'm glad it's there.
Yeah, I mean, putting it that way, like I 100% agree with you. I think VOG is a great starter raid. It's a great raid to teach people how to raid, which is, I think, what they did with D1. Basically, VOG was like teaching people how to raid, and they've brought that back in as a teaching raid now. I guess we can, like, I know that wasn't Destiny's or Bungie's purpose, but like, why don't we call it that? It's a teaching raid. It is.
And people still come in with sweet business.
We
had a guy and he was using sweet business and wondering why he was just getting beaten to death.
It's like we said, that's what you teach
on sweet business though. Maybe that's why he brought it in. It's probably the most common dropped exotic.
Well, that's down to the second part. That's down to the final twab that we're talking about, is that infinite ammo, the infinite kinetic ammo now. And you'll just get Titans just like with Axiom war rigs. I see, I know some bloody Titans.
Because you listen to our podcast, dude. Come on.
I know. I can do Titan talk. I can do Titan talk.
What's your favorite crayon?
Yeah.
All right, you're accepted. You can pretend to be a Titan.
It's just gonna be fucked. Like, I understand the reason why, because when you're playing high end content like Master VOG, and GMs, you run out of so much ammo like all the time. And I understand the reason there, but I think it's going to fuck other things up. Like it's going to be sweet business that is just going to be
Yeah.
for 40 minutes of a Crucible game.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
I've gone into what is that one? Pit of Heresy
Mm-hmm.
with the sweet business as like my primary quite a few times.
It's a very
I am a
thing to
Titan
do.
that I'm not afraid of using the sweet business, but at the same time, it has a job that it does, and it does that job really well, but it doesn't do other jobs really well.
It destroys anti-barriers like they're nothing. And the fact that we
Yeah.
keep getting auto rifle anti-barrier mods, just like keep doing that, because that's basically the best weapon to put it on. It just works the best, you know. So
I'll be
sweet
back.
business, and yeah, you're right. Sweet business anti-barrier, just I love that. It brings me so much joy just seeing that barrier burst, and then you're just still doing all of that damage afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said,
I never even
everything
thought
does
of
a lot.
doing that before. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even think to do it either until we put it on just as a joke to run a raid, and there was anti-barriers in there for master, and just popping it. That's just how it worked. But yeah, so
Thoughts on running double hand cannons in Atheon?
so that's another
Maddie
thing.
in Twitch.
That's another thing
Like,
that
Hand
a guy
cannons
that
in
didn't
Atheon?
he didn't understand how to stun champions, and so he bought the the overload mod for hand cannons, but he didn't put it on his arms, and so he was trying to stun, and so he put on 2 hand cannons thinking that he was stunning without having the mod to stun on, so he was looping between these 2 hand cannons and not getting anything done.
Yeah, you have to hold it.
Yeah.
Wait for the little thing to pop up on your screen.
Well,
and then
you also have to
shoot.
have it equipped. In
Yeah,
order
you
for
gotta have it
work.
on
first.
So it's kind of become a recurring joke if we run like sweet business or double hand cannons or triple bows just to give ourselves more of a challenge.
Triple bows. That's interesting.
Because when we was running Callus, so we used to try all the different guns on Callus. So we did it one plate with 6 Rat Kings.
Yeah, Rat King.
And you could one plate Callus.
There's no
In the
one
day.
perfect way to do anything in this game. There's always different ways.
Well, and I think that's, I mean, just going to the TWAB and what Bungie is doing right now with all the nerfs to the bubble and the well and all that stuff, and they're trying to change that mechanic so that people aren't sticking to the same mechanic over and over again, which I understand, but at the same time, like, give us our pigeonholed abilities, man. Like, come on.
It's
like
the issue is it's still viable because they've given you an out.
Right.
They turn and go, well, you do 100 resilience. It's still going to be your thing.
Right. And especially because I mean, like I said, like Agnikai said in the beginning of the stream or episode or whatever we're calling this,
Collab.
Doing that. Yeah. The collab. But doing 100 resilience build with barrier, with the barriers and the Crest of Alpha Lupi, like, yeah, I've been running 100 resilience since I figured that out. And prior to that, I used to think resilience was pointless.
Yeah.
So
because it's before that it was pointless because it didn't give you nothing. It'd give you like I think it'd give you like plus 10% on your shield.
Yeah, like
100.
an extra 10 hit points on your shield. Basically,
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
great.
boy.
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of running?
Killed like a half a second slower.
Yeah, but now it seems like it's doing a lot better because you can take a lot more damage through resilience. And if you get double resilience, double recovery, if you can get your triples, double resilience, double recovery, and double intellect, you're the beast. You're an absolute fucking beast.
Yeah, and that's my next thing I need to work on when I get back into playing is I've been focusing for a lot of my Destiny career since coming back on just getting that high stat roll armor with 66, 67, 68 armor. But usually that armor, as we all know, is like 7, 8, 7, 8, 13, 7, 8, 7, 8, 13. And that doesn't really give you that ability to do 100 intellect and 100 resilience and 100 recovery. That gives you the ability to do 100 resilience and then 90 recovery and 80 intellect.
Yeah.
But I need to switch my focus around in the game and actually like collect armor and build for that specific build.
Yeah, that's GM stuff. That's end content. Like they even though they did turn and say, oh well, if you do the corrupted mission, the expunged corrupted mission, you will get high end armor. You'll be able to get like 4 pieces a week. I never got anything other than like it depends on what they class as high end armor, like whether it's 61 or 62 is high end, where a GM will possibly give you a 67. Like there's a chess piece now, a hunter chess piece in Zoo that has like
67 stat roll.
Yeah. And there was a pair of legs transversive steps, which was a 68 that he was selling. You know?
Yeah, you can get some ridiculous stats from the. It's
But
rare.
that's GMs. But I've got a whole vault full of crap just from GMs. Or anything over 63 gets deleted. Anything over that, anything 63 and 64, bang, it's all saved in the vault.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some questions, guys, and obviously you're a part of our Discord, so you know how this went off and how I explained it. I actually have to find out because people actually still commenting them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I said, hey, myself and Agnikai are doing a podcast with some very straight-laced great guys, and by straight-laced I meant they do not swear, they are by the book, they are in it. I need questions to ask the guys.
Oh, it'll slip out for me every once in a while.
Agnikai God is, why do you play the worst class in the game?
Because I like crayons.
Yeah, good call.
Purple, especially.
Purple.
It tastes
the
like
grapes.
Purple crayon.
Purple crayon.
Hero?
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
Me, it comes back to what Nate was saying earlier. I just always like tanky characters. So I mean, I rolled when Lich King came out. My whole goal. Remember when they were doing like, oh, you have to reach a character at level 55, and then you can unlock a character for your Death Knight, or to unlock your Death Knight.
Yes.
Right.
So I literally leveled up my hunter, forgot about it, forgot about him, and then just straight up just rolled a Death Knight because I just like the lore and all that. And I ended up rolling a tank build during Wrath of the Lich King with my Death Knight. So, and I did the same thing with Destiny.
We're talking about WoW there, guys.
Yeah,
Lich
World of
Kings
Warcraft.
and, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just like having a lot of armor on and stuff, and I just think they just look cool. Granted, I rolled a hunter main in Destiny 1. But yeah, I felt like coming back to Destiny 2, and I came back during Forsaken. I was like, I'm gonna run a Titan, so that's what I ended up doing anyway. So
Fair enough.
And I, just to be fair, I feel like the question actually is more aimed towards you guys.
Yeah, it is.
I know Agnikai is the one that asked it, but like, why do you guys play the worst class in the game?
I love capes, and then I don't know if I've ever told you guys this story. The reason I picked Hunter was, like I said at the time of starting, I wasn't interested in this game, but my fiance and her dad were. I watched the gameplay of it, and Hunters did the normal double jump. And at the time, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was coming out about 2 months later.
This is such a nerd story.
And the jump in Destiny for the Hunters is the same that the jump was going to be in Advanced Warfare, because that was the first time they had the extended movement and stuff. And so I was like, big brain move, because I was playing competitive Call of Duty at the time. Big brain move. I'll get used to the jump in Destiny, and then when I just transfer over to Advanced Warfare, I'll have like 2 months of prep time up on it. And so I just stuck out Hunter ever since, and I'll tell you now, it worked. I was good for 2 weeks, and everyone figured it out, and then I was done.
So you saying that you were good at jumping?
I was really good at jumping. Well, that's the thing, was that Call of Duty changed there, because it was used to just like front on combat. And people weren't used to looking up, but I was used to jumping and looking down, and so I had like 2 weeks of I was a god, and then everyone figured out that's how the game works. Yeah.
And the reason why I play Warlock is I like things go boom.
You sound like a Titan to me.
Yeah.
Nah.
I kind of feel like you need to switch to Titan.
Nova
because Titans
Bomb.
make things go boom.
Nova
make
Bomb,
people
Chaos Reach. Just erase things. That's what I like to do. All right. This is off True Blaze. He's one of the guys. What's their favorite weapons and why they chose them?
You can
So
go, Nate.
Okay.
personally, I love bows.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I when I first came into playing Destiny, one of my buddies was like, he played with bows all the time, and he's like, "Hey, check out this bow," and I got one, and I got a good roll on it, so I was like, "Oh, I'll try it out."
Mm-hmm.
And I love them. I think they're great. They're pretty decent all around weapons. Like you can do distance with them, and you can do medium range with them pretty well too, or medium range primarily over distance, but you can do distance well.
Sure.
So I don't have a favorite bow because the last time I played, the bows were not great. But I do like the arsenic bite and the way that it feels.
Okay.
So you must be
That's
happy about
non-exotic.
next season then. You must be happy next season with overload bows and stuff like that.
Bows are getting some work done.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to use my fusion rifles too eventually.
I want to let Josh answer, and then I want to get back to something quickly.
Go.
For me, it would be Suro's Regime. I usually play a lot. That's only because it was the first ever exotic drop I ever got in D1.
Oh, okay.
So it holds a special place in my heart.
Don't say
for
nostalgia.
that. Oh yeah, it really is, and honestly, it really is that dumbass gun. I mean,
It's great.
it's
It does
not
a thing.
meta, but like it does what it does, really well. The other gun that I like to run, I have Destiny Item Manager pulled up here, is Graviton Lance, and only because of that stupid whistling sound it does when you shoot. It goes, Bruce, Bruce. You know that.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That's great.
Wow.
I would have gone with
Sound
it makes a
effect.
black
The only
hole.
reason
but
why
no,
I like it.
See, you're not going to be able to have that when you're in chat with us because we're all like screaming at each other. So
I know,
there is no
probably.
game. There is no game sound when we play. It's just us sort of shut up.
So every time I raid, I just get into a fight with Seiko, and everyone else just does their job. But what we were saying with bows just now, when they brought in Tiku's divination, they brought in this proc and then activate. Proc activate system. Is so. watch Seb's just turn here. So when Anthem came out, they brought out a similar system of you proc them and then you activate them and you detonate them. And I was hoping that they do more stuff like that beyond Tiku's. Do you guys think that should be something they could do, like bring in weapons that do that more? Maybe a new archetype to do that?
I don't. So I love the Tikus. I love the way that it does do the proc and detonate. I think that was a great mechanic. It especially because it just helped you clear ads really well. With the way that they did it. I don't know that there's a lot of guns they could do something similar with. I mean, because what was that stasis hand can or stasis sidearm they came out with?
Cryosthesia 77.
Yeah. So that's the only one I can kind of think that you could do something similar with, like doing something that's kind of style where you have to charge it and then reload, and then you can ignite it essentially.
You'd possibly taken away from lasting impression then as well if you kind of have to proc it and like all that sort of stuff, because that's what kind of lasting impression does. You hit him, leave it bang, and he blows up, with extra damage. So
I feel like all the exotic guns are just pretty much experiments as to what they can put into the game.
All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there. Check out the rest of the stream on... Well, it'll be out after this stream finishes. Thank you so much for listening. There is still over an hour to go, and we go down some very fun paths with the Weekend Guardians. Thank you again, Nate and Josh, for coming on and having us on your side as well. It was a lot of fun, and we hope to catch up with you guys again soon. I'm going to be going live again in about half an hour when I get myself a bit more ready. Look at me, I'm all disheveled. My beard is all... I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for watching this again. Go and check it out. I should really do a proper outro. It feels kind of weird because this isn't technically a proper Relaxed Guardian episode. This is a collab episode. But check out the Weekend Guardians on podcast services everywhere. They're really great guys. I'll be back soon. Bye.